Hey beauties, welcome to My Sheer Beauty. I'm Britt, your beauty coach, and I'm going to share with you my personal and professional tips on what to save and splurge your money on when it comes to makeup. Are you ready?
Don't tell me that it looks so easy. Do you now?
So when it comes to saving your money on makeup products and spending your money on a more expensive makeup product, it really does come down to you, what you need, what you think is best for you, and your price point, your budget, and your lifestyle. So it really is all about you, and I can't really say that it's this or that. I do have some personal preferences and some professional preferences when it comes to saving your money on product and spending your money on product. So just across the board, if we take out ingredients and personal preferences like non-toxic or organic or whatever, if we take those out, I'm just gonna talk about quality and price point in general. So let's begin. I always say, hands down, no matter what, spend your money on a better brand of mascara. When it comes to mascara, I've learned, and this is a professional opinion, I have learned that drugstore brands with mascara, they add a lot more preservatives and they add a lot more water to the formula so that it actually stays longer on the shelf. It's just how it goes, and it's just what they do. I always opt in for a higher priced name brand mascara. Now my personal favorite mascara is the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. I love this formula. There is a dupe by L'Oreal. I think it's called the Lash Paradise. It's very similar packaging. It's round, it's a cylinder like this, it's pink like this, it's kind of like a matte finish like this as well, and it has a similar wand to it. Now I've used both, and I'm just gonna say the Better Than Sex is actually better. When it comes to mascara formulas, drugstore versus name brand, drugstores are usually a bit more drying. They don't last as long. The bottle doesn't last as long because there's a lot more preservatives in it. This mascara can last me up to 3 to 4 months, and I do 2 coats a day, so it lasts a really long time. When I use a drugstore brand, it doesn't last as long. It usually lasts up to a month or 2 maybe, and I have to constantly like pump it or like swirl it around to get the extra product. And at the end of the day, my lashes are more dry and they are just stiff and not conditioned, and they're not well taken care of. So I feel like name brand formula is going to be a little bit better quality, better ingredients for you, and they just treat your lashes a little bit better. Now let's talk about concealer. So concealer, these are my personal concealers that I use. I have the NARS, the Radiance Cream Concealer, which I really do like. It's fantastic. It's super soft, really smooth, lightweight, good coverage, and has a radiant finish, and it comes in a wand, so I really like that. It's easy to apply. I also have the NYX. This is the full coverage concealer. It's in a pot. It lasts for a really long time, so use your finger or a brush. This is my opinion. This was $10. This is a travel size. This is $8, and this is a full size. Now this is a great formula. Like I said, it's really lightweight and it does have more of a radiance to it. I do prefer using the NYX because it lasts me longer in my makeup bag, and I don't use as much product. I found when I was using the NARS, I used more for coverage. I used it like more throughout the day as well. It didn't sit the same on my skin. I do use the primer under my eyes, and then I applied the concealer. I did it for both of them, and I just feel that this one was better for me personally. So in my personal opinion, I would say that price doesn't really matter when it comes to concealer. This, I like it because it is a full coverage and it is creamy like the NARS. I feel like concealer, you could get away with saving your money on it and still getting a good product. So let's talk about brows. I have this is my ride or die brow product. I've been using it for years. It's the Tarte Mousse, the Amazonian clay waterproof brow mousse. Now I like it better than a pomade. This is a name brand, so I'm pretty sure this was like between $20 to $30. I don't remember the actual price point, but I've used it for so many years that I just fell in love with it. And when I try another brand or even a drugstore brand, even if it's a pencil or a brow mascara, I always find myself going back to this. So I do prefer spending more money on my brow products than doing drugstore products because I feel like the pigment is stronger when it comes to your brows. You want it to look really natural, you want it to be really simple and to not have to work as hard. I have found that having a name brand brow product is a little bit better in that way. So now let's talk about powders. This is my setting powder that I use all the time. I use it on clients and then I have one for myself. It's the Airspun Loose Setting Powder. This is $5 and it's pretty big. It's a pretty big powder. And then I also have foundation powders. This is a Laura Mercier foundation powder. This is my favorite foundation powder that I absolutely love. I have multiple colors in my kit so that I can use it on multiple clients. It's great, it's lightweight, it's pretty soft, and it's not really heavy or cakey. Obviously, this is a setting powder, this is a foundation powder, but we're talking about powders in general. When it comes to powders, I really think that it is up to you and your formula and what you're looking for. I personally have not found a foundation powder that I like in a drugstore brand. I've tried some and I just kind of stopped looking because I found this one, and when it comes to foundation powders, I'm like, if you find a good one, stick with that no matter what. I splurge on foundation powders because I just feel this is the best that I have found. And when it comes to setting powders, I personally don't think you need to spend a whole lot of money on setting powders. If you find a good setting powder that's cheap, that's, you know, it does what you need it to do, it mattifies, it sets your skin or it sets your makeup, it lasts all day, and it doesn't give you any irritation, then why not save money on that? If you want to try a name brand, go for it. If that works for you, awesome. For me, this has been the best. So now we're gonna talk about foundation. A lot of people do think that if the foundation is a higher price point, then it is gonna be a better quality for your skin. It might not be harsh on your skin or whatever the case may be. That's not true. I'm here to tell you that there are some really good brands in drugstores that are great quality, they have good ingredients, and they're just as good as any name brand is gonna be. I have a lot of foundations and I have them all for certain reasons, and I use them all for certain reasons. So when it comes to foundations, I'm gonna say across the board, the price doesn't matter as long as you find what you love, what you're comfortable in, and what works for you. I have one of my foundations is this one. This is the Candid Foundation by Revlon. I absolutely love it. It's their newer formula. I find it's so great. It's a natural finish. It comes in a pump, which is what I like. It's less mess. And it's super long wearing. It makes my skin feel great and I don't feel heavy or cakey, but it is full coverage. So this is $8. It's drugstore. My other all-time favorite foundation that I absolutely love, it is a ride or die for me, and if I could, I would buy it every single time, but it's this one. It's the YSL. It's called Le Tint Encru de Poix. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but this is amazing. I absolutely love this product. It seriously is so great. It smells fantastic. There's chamomile in it. It's a liquid to powder form, so it's super lightweight. It's really buildable. You literally don't feel like you're wearing anything, but your skin looks fantastic. So I love this product. This is definitely a splurge. It's $60 or $59 without tax. So this is just one of those products that I absolutely love, and it's a treat yourself product for me. It's something that makes me happy. It looks great. I just love it, and it's, again, it's not that this is better than any other brand or any other product. It's just something that I love and I would love to use over and over again. So when it comes to foundations, I really believe it's all about you and what you're looking for and what your skin needs. So price doesn't really matter as long as you get what you want. So now let's talk about facial sprays. This is one of my favorite facial sprays. It's the Mario Badescu. You know that I love it. It is one of my all-time favorites. It's the aloe and cucumber. Now, let me tell you, this is great. However, this is great as well. I also like this one. It's the Thayer's Witch Hazel with Rose Petal Facial Mist. Now you can see the difference in size. This is 2 ounces, this is 8 ounces. This is $5, it's a travel size. This is $10.95 from Target. This is from Ulta or anywhere else that Mario Badescu is sold. They both do great things. They both are hydrating. I use it as a setting spray after I put on my powder, so it kind of just like morphs together. I don't think you need to spend a lot of money on a facial spray as long as it's doing what you want it to do. As long as it smells good to you and it's hydrating to you. Again, some skin is really sensitive or picky, so some skin actually need a higher price point product just because it's what it needs. I personally don't think you need to spend so much money on a facial spray. I don't know what the full size costs of a Mario Badescu spray because I always get the mini size because I always don't want to spend money on it. So I found that this one works just as great and it's just as good. So let's talk about eyeshadows. I love a good eyeshadow palette. The one that I use quite often is the Pixie eyeshadow palette. And then I go between any one of these three. This is Sephora, this is Lorac, and then this is Kat Von D, which is an all matte eyeshadow palette. Here's my stance on drugstore versus name brand. I love drugstore products. They're great. They're great price point. You get a lot of colors for the cost. However, I find that when I use a drugstore palette, the pigment isn't as strong and there's a lot more fallout. Pixie does great with their eyeshadows, but again, I actually go for name brand eyeshadow palette more than a drugstore brand. When I'm using multiple colors, you gotta blend really well. It has to be soft and movable, and I feel that name brand eyeshadow palettes just have better quality in their eyeshadow pigments. The pigments are stronger, you're not using as much shadow, they last longer, and the fallout isn't as bad. So I opt for spending money on my eyeshadow palettes. Again, it's up to you, preference, and if you don't want to spend money on that, then you don't have to, but I prefer spending your money on a name brand. Now let's talk about lips. So I am a lipstick fanatic. I have a whole bag. This is filled with all of my favorite lipsticks and products, but my two go-to lipstick products are these right here. It's the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip in Uncuffed, and then this is the LA Colors Matte Liquid Lipstick in Vixen. They're both liquid lipsticks, they're both matte, and they're both long wearing. They're both different colors for different reasons, but I will tell you this was, I think, $21, and then if not, don't quote me, but it was around $20. This was $1. I wear this one more than the Fenty Beauty. Obviously the packaging is different. The packaging of the Fenty Beauty is a lot more nice and luxurious and fancy. It looks awesome when you pull it out of your purse. The application of the wand itself is amazing because it's really tapered and it fits the shape of your lip perfectly. This wand is not that comfortable. It actually pokes you a little bit, and it's really flat and wide, and it's hard to get a nice clean edge, but the color's great and the stay is just as good as the Fenty Beauty. So all that to say, I don't think you need to spend money on a higher brand or a higher price point for lipstick. You could find what you love in a cheaper brand or a drugstore brand. I just personally don't like spending money on lipstick because I have so many. If it's $5 or $10 or $15, I'll get it. If it's anything more than $21, I will not buy it because to me, lipstick is not worth that much money. The last thing that I'm going to talk about are eyelash curlers. Now, if you don't curl your lashes, lucky you, but I have to curl my lashes every single day, and I love, like, an eyelash curler is one of my ride or die products. However, there is a difference when using a drugstore and a name brand eyelash curler. I've had a Revlon eyelash curler, I've had, you know, Tweezerman super cheap eyelash curlers from the drugstore, and then I've had a Sephora, this is a Sephora one, I've had a Tarte eyelash curler, and then a Shiseido one. Now, Tarte and Shiseido are my all-time favorite eyelash curlers ever. They're so great, and they're great because the tension, how they're designed, the tension of the clamp itself is perfect. You don't want it too loose and you don't want it too tight. This is a Sephora one. I've had this for a couple of years now. I should probably get a new one, honestly, but it still works really well. When I got a Revlon one or a Tweezerman one, it didn't work that great. It was super loose and it didn't keep the tension as long as my Sephora. I do recommend spending money on your eyelash curler. Don't save your money on that one if you use it every day like I do. So there you go. Those are my tips on what to save your money on and what to splurge your money on. I hope that helped you out, and I would love to hear your feedback, so go ahead and leave a comment below. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you learned something new today, go ahead and subscribe to my Sheer Beauty because I upload a new beauty tip video every week, and I would love for you to get notified when that video comes out. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.